speaking tone. My advice to House Rosarian would be not to appeal the Rogue Trader for help, but instead to simply stop, accept their fate, and not make matters worse for themselves. I cannot remember Muck von Luck von Valancius seeking your advice on what House Rosarian should do in this situation. Pay attention, Macarius, and focus on the Rogue Trader's questions. Who, apart from the Rosarians, could have a motive to conspire against me? House Drivestem, wishing to expand their clout. House Caproc, who lost their influence after the Kiava Gamma incident. He looks back at his family and then turns to you again. House Sauerback, whose patriarch is too direct in his communication with the Rogue Trader. Anyone could have a reason to conspire against you, and equally, they could have none. It is not a question of motive, but of loyalty. Each of your subjects has sworn an oath of loyalty to you, so whose sincerity do you doubt? The assailants sent to the palace were rare, high-functioning servitors. Do you think the Caprax could be behind the attack? He looks away and briefly and replies to you with a curt laugh. I've always thought Toriana too weak to participate in such risky ventures, but it seems I was wrong about her. Okay, hold on. So there might be more than one person per family I can talk to. Alright, that's the same.
Oh, one step at a time amidst the madness.
Drivestem. Governor Drivestem is surrounded by his retinue, which are all dressed in expensive gowns and finery. The matching color scheme of their outfits and the striking physical resemblance among them suggests they all come from one family. Your Lordship, thank you for giving this case your undivided attention. What do you make of this letter? I found it on one of the assailants. The Governor Drivestem peers closely at the bloodstained paper. It looks like another piece of evidence incriminating House Rosarian. Perhaps they truly did intend to kill you, or at least cause a stir to help them escape custody during the confusion that followed. All of the assailants were high-functioning servitors. Such servitors are only employed by families close to the Adeptus Mechanicus. High-functioning servitors. He ponders this, rubbing his chin with his thumb. Such servitors are indeed rare, and the Caprax do have them in their service, but they could have been done intentionally with an eye to confusing you. Anyone with the desire and sufficient funds can hire them. I wish to hear your reasoning again. What makes you think the Rosarians are behind this plot? As soon as the logistical and economical problems gave rise to the initial rumors, we tried to find the person responsible for spreading the calls for Voigtvir's return. The investigation showed that some of the documents inside the Adeptus Administratum were forgeries. We can thank my son Cornelius for such acute observations. Your Lordship, a slender young man bows to you awkwardly and nervously licks his dry lips. I assure you that my humble person is undeserving of your attention. Cornelius holds a prestige position at the Administratum Palace, as it was he who discovered the errors leading to the disrupted logistics. It is also thanks to him that we found the perpetrators of the forgeries, who's admitted to acting on the orders of House Rosarian. Tell me about your son, Drivestem. Thank you for your interest, your lordship, but I'm not worthy of it. The governor's son bows and stands still as he nervously stares down at the floor. Okay, right now, I'm wondering if Cornelius, the son, lied about all this just to try to get rid of the Worsarians, because he thought it would make Daddy happy, and then Dad just took his word for it, and then all of this played out. Son, show due respect. Forgive him, your lordship. This is the first time he's had the honor of attracting the attention of the rogue trader. Tell me about your job, Cornelius. What do you do? I manage the documents and records related to the economy of Dargonis. You probably know how scrupulous the workers of the Adeptus Administratum are. I'm afraid that a more detailed explanation of my duties would mirror the administrative processes of the Administratum. Too long and overly detailed. He tries to look you in the eye, but it's clearly hard for him to do so. How did you manage to find the forged documents in the bureaucratic hell that is the Administratum? When compiling reports on last cycle's supply chain, I noticed inaccuracies and discrepancies in the figures. With the help of the other clerks, I managed to find several other documents. Cornelius stammers and swallows noisily. Comprehensive data analysis has shown that the discrepancies were caused by intentional tampering with the data and leading to some logistical problems that were practically unsolvable. Father and I have managed to single out the Administratum clerks responsible for tampering with the data. Following a heated interrogation, they confessed that they were following the orders of someone from House Rosarian. Everything was supposed to look as though they were the ones suffering losses from the logistical and economic problems. But does Rosarian have access to the Adeptus Administratum? There's no conceivable way they could do all of this in a place where they do not hold any power. Before replying, the governor's son nervously adjusts his expensive frock coat. I think the right amount of money can open any door. Cornelius, what is the true reason for your nervousness? The young man's pupils suddenly dilate. He stands at attention and replies to you in one breath. This is the first time I've spoken face to face with the rogue traitor. I'm afraid of saying something wrong or forgetting something important. The governor closely watches his son. His tone changes, now sounding strict and curt. Do you wish to tell the Lord Captain anything else? Coercion. Place your hand on your weapon. You are speaking to a rogue traitor, and my patience is running out. Coercion succeeded. You see the flash of terror in Cornelius's eyes as he stares at your hand on your weapon. He speaks quietly and confusedly without raising his head. Forgive me, your lordship. I can't do it anymore. The lie has gone too far. I can no longer control it. The truth is that all of the logistical problems were caused by a single error in the numbers. My mistake. What? Urban looks genuinely shocked and enraged. When I discovered my mistake, it was almost impossible to restore the supply lines. Then I was approached by someone who said they were a friend. They did not give me their name, and I never saw their face. They promised to fix the problem. All I had to do was pretend that the Wersarians were responsible for the mistake, and as for the rest of the evidence, they promised to arrange it all, and Cornelius is suffocating with fear, unable to speak. Urban curls his hand into fist, the knuckles turning white. What have you done? How could you? Your lordship, he suddenly turns to you as if trying to shield his son. This is my fault. I trusted my son and have failed you in doing so. I beg you, have mercy. Called it. Called it. I was a little wrong thinking the boy did it on purpose, trying to get daddy's approval, but was right on how everything played out from there. I just didn't get the spark right. Lefty River says this game have PvP. No. This is a single player story game. Abelard shakes his head, and you called my family's honor into question, Urband. Nevertheless, I harbored no desire to kick a man when he's down. Lord Captain, the confession you've obtained means that House Versarion can now be cleared of all charges. But we still do not know who is behind the forgeries, the riots, the plot, and the assassination attempt. Someone is committing the foul deeds and sowing chaos right under your subjects' noses. To leave that stone unturned would be dangerous. You can kill the kid immediately. What is this friend that approached you, Cornelius? How did the two of you communicate? By letter. I received a letter out of the blue one day. It was unsigned, but the person writing already knew about my erroneous calculations. They offered to help me cover up my misdeed, and in return, I would name the Wersarians as the ones who sabotaged the supply lines. All I had to do was gather together some documents and reports that were listed in one of the letters, that and keep my mouth shut. Dude, there's no in-between. Forgive the boy who was going to let a whole family die for his mistake, or kill the kid. There's no in-between. Oh my god. We've been playing Iconoclast so far. So, we are of the people. You choose our fight, yeah. I feel like, okay, here's my thought. We're Rogue Trader, right? We control many planets. We have to have people under us we could trust. I think if we let this kid live, this guy is going to feel seriously indebted to us. Like, this noble family is going to be kissing our boots because they were the cause of all of this. So I think the play is to let him live, and they owe me big time. Urban, your son has found the courage to admit his mistake. I will try and find some compassion for him in my heart. Thank you, your lordship. The governor bows low, then gives his son a look full of bitterness and frustration. And as for your position, I think you'll be reassigned to a role requiring less responsibility. Summon everyone. I'm ready to pronounce... Actually, wait. I'll return to you later. Hold on. Let's see if there's anyone else in the room we could talk to find out about the assailants.
There will be no peace in my wake.
Okay, here's the Wersarians. As you draw closer, the wardens step aside, bowing respectfully, allowing you to approach the Wersarian family. Clementia, tired and slightly disheveled, is the first to bow her head to you in deference. Several men and women behind her follow suit. Your lordship, the woman stammers, as if lost for words. Accept my most humble apologies for failing to greet you properly, and my thanks for agreeing to speak to me before making your final decision. The charges brought here by the governor are severe, but I can only assure you of this, and I swear in my own honor, we are not guilty of the crimes House Versarion is being accused of. Clementia. A hint of sorrow creeps into Abelard's voice, belying his stern facade. You are acting head of the family. You are supposed to take care of each and every family member. Now you're being accused of treason and collusion against the rogue traitor, and the entire family is facing death. How could you let this happen? Abelard, what the crap? Didn't he just say I'm not gonna kick someone when they're down? Dude, he is not just kicking. Dude, he put on a steel-toed boot before this kick. I found this letter on one of the bodies of the heretics who planned the attack. What can you tell me about it? While Clementia reads the letter, the Warsarians behind her read it over her shoulder. Your lordship, let us be frank. It would be foolish of me to try and orchestrate something like this, knowing how many wardens are patrolling your palace. I would not have let myself or anyone get involved in such a scheme. The attackers were high-functioning servitors, ones that look closer to ordinary humans. Do you know anything about them? Servitors? Is that so? She crosses her arms and furrows her brow deep in thought. I've encountered servitors who were indistinguishable from normal augmented humans, but only once. They were accompanied by several members of House Caprock. The governor claims you forged documents in the administratum. The fleet is the primary remit of House Rosarian. It is our responsibility. Logistics and supply routes are another area of our responsibility. We have no direct influence on the inner workings of the Adeptus Administratum. The first large-scale deliveries were cancelled after quantities of food were miscalculated by clerks in the Administratum. Then we were faced with incorrect weather data and a meager fuel budget. It was clear that the cause of all these problems was the calculations performed in the Administratum. In one way or another, but no matter how many times we asked, we could not obtain any clarification on the matter. If you are not guilty, who is? Who stands to gain by framing you? Anyone, really, she replies with a bitter laugh. The other houses consider us unworthy of our position and would jump at the chance to get rid of us and gain control over what was once our domain, the planet's fleet and logistics at the very least. Lady Theodora chose to grant noble status to House Rosarian, but the other houses, which have served in the Expanse for millennia, did not welcome the decision. It has led to some difficulties. If I want to find out what is going on here and who the real mastermind behind all this is, where should I start? I'm afraid I cannot be of much help. Talk to the representatives of the other houses, eavesdrops on their retinue, perhaps you will hear something unusual. I'll take my leave. Alright, I'm wondering if there's any other evidence we can get.
Curiosity sings in my veins.
Wait, why are all these servants on their knees? What's going on here? You claim you knew nothing about the attack, is that right? I'll put that in your file. When you end up in a penal world, the warden will be interested when you read it. Please don't send me to the mines. I'll tell you everything I saw. I'm just a subject, my lord, a loyal subject of the Emperor. I serve only him and our esteemed rogue traitor. Okay, that's just looping at this point. Alright. Summon everyone. I'm ready to pronounce my verdict. Governor Drivestem tensely bows and replies without hesitation. Understood, your lordship. Allow me to prepare everything. The many faces are watching you, each and every one awaiting the rogue trader's verdict with bated breath. The charges brought by Governor Drivestem were fabricated. House Rosarian had nothing to do with the orchestration of the riots or the plot against the rogue trader, and yet this matter is far from concluded. A wave of shocked murmuring sweeps through the gathered nobles, then quickly gives way to oppressive silence. Not so much as a whisper interrupts your speech. Wait, what? I have to... I did not realize I would have to do this. I have to pick a different family and peg the crime on them? I thought that I was just finding the Warsarians guilty or innocent. Like, that's it. Oh my god, this was like 17 minutes ago. God. Alright, Sarbak is the family that really hates me. Gaprak has the super expensive servitors, but they swear they didn't bring any today. Drivestem is the one that did the false claim against Rosarian, but that's because of the stupid kid. I can point something out, but it requires save scaling. Oh my god, hang on. Dude, okay. Alright. I thought the whole point of this court was to find Rosarian guilty or innocent, and we found enough to prove their innocence. I did not realize it was going to immediately ask me to then, you know, punish someone else to death. I wasn't expecting that. I was not expecting that. All right.
In this tapestry of a world.
All right, hold on. Let me blast through
I
these
am the
conversations
rogue
again.
thread.
And then he admits the crime. Okay. Who's the friend that approached you? I'll try to find this. I'll return to you later. Okay. Alright. Dress aristocrat. Alright. The Rosarians have taken things too far. It is lucky Lord Urban managed to uncover their grubby plot quickly. We are loyal servants to the Road Trader, the true heir. The Rosarians are nothing but a bunch of upstarts. What have they ever done to deserve their standing? Long live the Road Trader. Glory to the Road Trader.
Patience? My nerves are frayed.
Alright, proc. Continue. Do you think the accusations are true? Which nobles might have something to gain? I've examined the bodies of the servitors that were killed today. They've got your stuff. I found this note on the bodies of one of the attackers. I shall take my leave. Okay. Gaproc aristocrats. Have you seen Halen today? He came together, but I haven't seen him since. He will miss out on all the fun. Halen. How could the Rosarians act like this? People are saying Theodora wanted to name someone else as their heir. Nonsense. There's only one rogue traitor. Does Governor Drivestem really have evidence of the Rosarians? Does he have evidence? The heretics deserve to be exposed and executed, even those among us. People are saying Theodora wanted to name someone else. Nonsense. Halen, yes, I did see him briefly. He looked awfully tense, like he was fit to explode. I think he was headed toward the entrance hall where the altars are. Do you think he knows something about the Rosarians' crimes? Ah! Maybe Halen is... okay, so we're going to go to the entrance hall after this and see if we can find him. Him? As if. He never had any business with those arrogant Parvinus. Arrogant Parvinus. Okay. Down here.
They will see. Oh,
Galen
yes.
Gaprok.
They all will
A finely
see.
dressed man of middle years is kneeling in front of an altar, his palms folded in prayer close to his face. The implant-free parts of his skin are a sickly blue color. The nobleman does not react to your presence, he does not lift his head, he does not blink, he does not even breathe. Only when you draw closer do you realize he's dead. Abelard looks at the man, his eyes grim. The colors of House Gaprok. I do not believe he decided to take his own life in such an extravagant way. As far as I know, there is a warden post here, but I do not see any wardens. The Seneschal looks around. There is no one to ask about what happened here or with whom this man spoke to before he died. I would like to ask Urban where the palace guard suddenly disappeared to. Bro, what? I can't use the awareness of my party or the Medicae of my party. It's using Muck's skill, which is bad. Hello, hi Oscar. You closely examine the body, but cannot identify any wounds or any other causes of death. Pascal's visor emits a series of clicks. He points to the dead man's neck without hesitation. I am registering an injection site. There are no visible wounds on the body, but near the edge of the gold-trimmed collar, you notice a tiny puncture in blue skin, likely a wound caused by a thin needle. Medicae. Death found this man in the middle of a holy prayer to the Emperor, but it's impossible to determine the cause of such a quick and eerie death. Search the pockets. You discover a secret pocket in the lining of the dead man's luxurious jacket. You find a folded piece of paper inside, hiding behind a handkerchief embroidered with the initials HG. Short note. Look around. You're almost certain the wardens are usually stationed nearby, but their post is empty. Where have they gone? This would be an excellent question to put to Governor Drivestem. Step away from the corpse. Alright, so we've got a note. Short note. Make sure the rogue trader is attacked by someone loyal. It should appear as if this was all staged to let the Rosarian family escape. This is the last assignment. Soon your debt will be paid in full. All this fuss over the Rosarians, they don't deserve so much attention. Where did all the servants go? I want wine. I want wine. They don't deserve attention. And okay.
There will be no peace in my wake.
Alright, quick save. Since now we know we not only have to just to prove their innocence, we have to find someone else's, you know, guiltiness. Wait, I can't ask about... Hold on. Alright, let's go to the Caprax. I discovered a dead body, a member of your house, right here in my palace. He died kneeling in prayer. Toriana covers her mouth with her hand in surprise and turning to her family, looks for someone among them. Halen. It can't be. The dead man had a note on him. It mentioned some sort of debt. Let me have a look. Oh, Halen, you fool. Forgive me, your lordship, but I have nothing to say. This is the first I've seen of this letter, and I have no idea what kind of debt it might refer to. Halen was it? Tell me about him, Toriana. Halen is one of the lower-ranking members of House Caprock. Despite his advanced age, he never held high office, but he was forever striving to better his position, even beyond his abilities. Many members of my house struggled to cope with the misfortune that befell Kiava Gamma and our family. Some members could not reconcile themselves to our new position. Halen was one of them. What could have happened to him? Toriana's visor oculars are fixed on the floor, her fingers restlessly clenching in the fabric of her dress. Toriana, the time to keep silent is long gone. The future of the Von Valancius trade dynasty and your house are both at stake now. We lost Kiava Gamma, a truly devastating blow to every member of House Caprack. I lost all hope for the future, and my kin lost their sense of purpose. We needed time to recover and chart a new course for ourselves. We were and still are more than capable of doing that, but I will not deny it. The other houses have offered us their assistance for their own self-serving ends. Perhaps Halen decided to take them up on one of their offers behind my back. The seneschal bows ever so slightly and speaks quietly so that only you can hear him. Lord Captain, the Capracks, or all or perhaps some of them, are definitely involved, but I suspect that they were not behind the plot against you. Helen Caprack could be nothing more than a puppet in the hands of a deaf puppet master. We could expose whoever that is if we are to prevent the pestilence of heresy from spreading further. I am listening. Interrogate the heads of the Drivestem and Sarback houses. One of them has been pulling strings here. Once we uncover new evidence, announce that the guilty party will be publicly executed. Before you pronounce the verdict, I suggest focusing on each house in your indictment speech, and I shall observe them. I have known these people far longer than you have. I know all of their gestures, habits, and behavioral quirks. I'm sure that I'll be able to determine which of them was responsible for the riots based on their behavior. Okay. Alright, quick save again. Gotta do this correctly. Before bowing, Sourback scrutinizes you with a bitter, judgmental look. Your lordship. Hetka Sourback, looking like a younger copy of his father, stands at a slight distance. Okay, blah, 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 blah. I discovered a dead body in the palace. A man of House Caprack who was killed while praying to the Emperor. He had this note on him. Do you know anything about it? Macarius looks at the note without taking it from your hands and replies without hesitation. No, I know nothing about this note. Okay, the Caprack thing. Do you believe the Rosarians are guilty? Certainly. Okay, alright, so that we've done that before. Alright, where's Sarback Aristocrat? House Sarback has faithfully served the Von Valancius dynasty of rogue traders. We never got anyone doubt cause of doubt. We faithfully serve. As long as Macarius is out of our house, we have nothing to worry about. His lordship will make the right decision to punish the culprits. Faithfully served. As long as blah, 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 blah. Okay. What about these group? Faithfully served. Warsarians thought too highly of himself. Okay. Alright.
What lies beyond?
So you found one of these notes on a body. Let me be frank, this isn't us. Our functioning servitors. Encountered some from House Caprock. I discovered the body of Halen Caprock here in the palace. He had this note on him. Do you know anything about it? The younger members of House Rosarian family crowd around to examine the note in Clementia's hands. All present are beset with worry and bewilderment. I am not sure if it is relevant, but perhaps you should know. Since the fall of Kiava Gamma, House Koprak has been faring poorly, to say the least. They have been looking for ways to enhance their influence and to improve their lot, including asking for help from other noble houses. They have not approached us, of course. It is shameful to seek help from those you consider your inferiors, you understand. But perhaps the Drive Sims of the Sourbacks can tell you more about this matter. Okay. Alright, drive stems again. I found a dead body in my palace. A member of House Kaprak was slain in front of the altar. Do you know anything about it? A member of House Kaprak was killed in the palace. The governor's eyes bulged in surprise. And no one noticed? But there were wardens posted at every altar. There was no one near the deceased. The wardens have left their post. Did you order them to do so? Emperor, forbid your lordship! The governor helplessly throws his hands up in the air as if to signify his powerlessness. Your negligence is stunning, Urban. An assassination attempt, followed by a mysterious death, and yet here you are oblivious to everything. The rogue traitor can justly accuse you of allowing a noble to be killed in the palace and at failing to even notice it. It may be so, but it is for the rogue traitor to accuse me of negligence, not you. The governor addresses you once more. Your lordship, accept the deepest apologies for my imprudence. Nothing matters more to me than my honor. I shall send the servants to deal with all this immediately. Did you see Macarius Sourback today before I arrived? Macarius? I did not see him myself, but perhaps. The governor turns around and asks his family, did any of you see him today? The nobles talk quietly among themselves, and a middle-aged woman with a tall, extravagant hairstyle replies to you. I think my sister and I saw him sitting on the bench some distance away from the palace's entrance. We think he was accompanied by a gentleman, but forgive us, your lordship, we could not make out his face. Lead me there. Of course, consider it done. It took me a solid minute to realize the cat on the camera. There you go. Is it a little bit more obvious now?
In this tapestry of a world, I am.
Oh crap, where did the lady go I was supposed to follow? I lost her. I gotta admit, when I said lead me there now, I thought it was just gonna like teleport us there. Where'd all the servants go? Servants. Your lordship, are you leaving already? Everyone is waiting so eagerly for your verdict. I humbly ask you to speak to Governor Driveson before leaving.
Curiosity sings in my veins.
Your lordship, are you leaving already? Everyone's waiting so eagerly for your verdict. I humbly ask you to speak to Governor Driveson before leaving. I'm not trying to leave. I'm trying to talk to people. Where'd all the servants go? I want wine.
One step at a time amidst the
Where'd all the servants go? I want wine. Warden. Long live the rogue trader. Wait, can I not step outside? Quick save again. So I talked to that lady. She was supposed to lead me to a bench. I blinked for a second and she disappeared. I didn't see where she went. It sounded like she was saying the bench was outside the palace, which is why I was trying to go out here. Hey, my good chat. Not gonna say because I plan on playing this in the future. Gonna carry on watching Loop Hero Vibes. No problem, Theo. I understand wanting to avoid spoilers.
Patience! My nerves are frayed!
Augurator Tech Priest. As you approach, the Lex mechanic subtly bows his head while continuing to emit binaric trills. Nobleman. Greetings to your lordship.
What lies beyond?
Janus Messenger. Your lordship. Head of Janus's delegation. Janus delegation salutes you, your lordship. Your lordship.
They will see. Oh, yes, indeed. They all will see.
Thank grass for my sharp senses.
Glinting in the light, the coin falls to the clear water and sinks to the bottom. What a blessing to see you in good health, your lordship. Nobleman. Head of Kiava Gamma's delegation. May the Omnisci bless the Von Valancius dynasty. Shady character. What a lovely day it is, your lordship. Your presence only makes it better. What, my lord? I don't understand what you mean. Stop playing dumb. You know why I'm here.